Hi, my name is Mike Alexander, and I'm honored to be the Chancellor at the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. I appreciate the invitation to speak with you on Indigenous Peoples Day about the significance of having the land acknowledgement and the flags of the First Nations of Wisconsin displayed on our campus and our student union. Let me begin by saying what I think might be obvious, but is still very important to state. While I understand that we are using Indigenous Peoples Day as a way to mark the occasion of the new display, I feel part of the significance of the outward display of the flags and acknowledgement is that it is displayed every day and not just on this day. I like that we are now reminded daily of whose land we are on. Prior to being Chancellor here, I had the opportunity to hear the land acknowledgement many times. However, it is not until I became Chancellor and have now recited the words in the acknowledgement many times myself that I'm beginning to truly feel its power. There's something about speaking those words that makes the connection deeper to me. My hope is that having the land acknowledgement displayed prominently on our campus will also help everyone connect more fully to it and absorb the statement with more depth. To me, having the land acknowledgement and flags prominently displayed also creates opportunities for conversations and understanding. Let me give you a personal example. As a kid, I used to collect stamps. I know that's somewhat gone out of fashion these days. My parents got me a collection of national flags on stamps from across the world. This prompted me to ask questions, think about cultures I was less familiar with, and have conversations with my parents I might not otherwise have considered. My hope is that this display will not only help our First Nation students feel more welcome, but will also encourage dialogue on our campus and continue our growth to be a more inclusive place with a broader cultural awareness. Frankly, I also think it is important that we are making an overt and continuous display of the flags and acknowledgement. While symbolic, the symbol is important, as was its absence up until now. We are proud to be a campus that supports Indigenous people. Let this display be a symbol of that pride, a symbol that shows we understand on whose land we now reside, that we respect the cultures and people who were here before us and are still with us today, and that as a university, we will continually strive to bring people together, celebrate what makes each of us unique, and honor that we must now all share and respect this land together. Thank you for inviting me to speak, and I wish I could be in person with all of you together to commemorate this. I am most honored to work for a place with a strong First Nations program that is such a vital part of who we are as a university. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Dr. Corey King, and I am the new Vice Chancellor for University Inclusivity and Student Affairs here at the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. These are exciting times at our institution as we recommit ourselves to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The fact that we are joining in the celebration on Monday, October 12th, for Indigenous Peoples Day shows our continued strive to be an inclusive campus community. Furthermore, by the installation of the tribal nations of Wisconsin flags and land acknowledgement in our university union shows that the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay is committed to welcoming all people and to be an institution that is equitable and provides a place for inclusion and openness. We join today in the celebration of the Indigenous peoples of our community and our nation. We join today in celebration in becoming more aware of the diversity of our community around us and beyond. And so, the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay today continues our ongoing commitment to being the institution that is inclusive, the institution that is diverse, the institution that is equitable. Once a phoenix, always a phoenix. Thank you.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Hannah Moon. I am a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation.
Hot or hi, I'm Aspen Hanley. I'm mainly Sauk and Fox, but I do have some Ojibwe and Choctaw as well.
Sigoli Sigwait, Bailey Niungets, Onioti Ada Niwada Hunjod. Hello everyone, my name is Bailey Klahach, I'm Oneida.
Sigoli Sigwait, Kelly House Niungets, Oniontiaga Nei, Wagaslay, Wagani, Wagataloda. So hello everyone, my name is Kelly House, I am Oneida, and I am Bear Clan.
Sio Niara, JP Leary Dawado.
What does Indigenous Peoples Day mean to me? Indigenous Peoples Day, for me, is a day of true reflection about what I was falsely taught to as a child, what I learned as an immigrant refugee, and also today as a naturalized citizen about the Indigenous people of this land.
When I think about Indigenous Peoples Day, I think of change. It was always only Christopher Columbus Day growing up, and now that it's also Indigenous Peoples Day, it's a way for us to be recognized.
Indigenous Peoples Day to me is a day of celebration. It is a day that I reflect on my own tribe as well as all the tribes around me, and I acknowledge all of our accomplishments as a people. I also find today as a day to educate. Some people may not understand why this day is no longer Columbus Day and why it is now considered Indigenous Peoples Day. So I find today as a day to educate those around me as to why that has changed.
I believe that Indigenous Peoples Day is a day where we can educate. We can educate the people about how there are over 560 unique tribal communities. We educate about why today is now called Indigenous Peoples Day. And we educate to make it known that we're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Indigenous Peoples Day reclaims a day to instead recognize, celebrate, and honor Indigenous peoples. To me, it's a day of many to reflect, to educate, to recognize ancestors who have survived, to celebrate my Oneida heritage, and to honor First Nations people all over who are still here.
What does Indigenous Peoples Day mean to me? This day represents the resiliency of not only my tribe, but of all 574 federally recognized tribes throughout the United States. It shows how our people were able to withstand and recover from everything that was and continues to be thrown at us. To me, it confirms that Indigenous people are an eminence and that we are indeed here to stay.
And what Indigenous Peoples Day means to me is, above all, it means recognition. Recognition of the people that stood on Turtle Island before Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Recognition that there are over 500 distinct tribes in North America, and that they each have their own rich culture that needs to be celebrated on this Indigenous Peoples Day. And whether that means celebrating all tribes or even my own individual tribe.
What Indigenous Peoples Day means to me is that we are still here, that we have endured, persisted, and been resilient despite everything. And that at the same time, our peoples and our histories are about so much more than just our experiences with colonization. We are living, contemporary, vibrant peoples. And we have a shared future together. To learn more about that, I'll see you in class. Take care. Be well.
To me, Indigenous Peoples Day this year, 2020, is more important to celebrate than ever. In a year when we've been through so much already, it's important to remember our resiliency, and so I think Indigenous Peoples Day can represent that, but we should celebrate every day. And it also is taking back our space and reigniting our connection to each other. So that's how I feel about Indigenous Peoples Day.
It's a way for us to be recognized, not only that we're still here, but that we've conquered and accomplished so much, and we continue to take what's thrown at us and just persevere. And so I always think of it as a day to celebrate and spread love and kindness and happiness.
Just recognizing the resiliency of them and the fact that they are still here today and they are still thriving. They are beautiful cultures, and I just feel like today, above else, just deserves to be a celebration of everything that they have gone through, everything that they have survived through, and just really just taking a moment and just appreciating everything that's come before us and everything that will come after.
To me, Indigenous Peoples Day is one way of showing that we're still here, that we are not invisible, and that we are still a strong and resilient community. For too long, the Indigenous people of America have been pushed aside or tucked away. Now we are reclaiming public space, and by doing so, we're forcing ourselves into the spotlight and to be recognized.
What does Indigenous Peoples Day mean to me? It means change is coming. I grew up in a time when we called it by a different name. And I'm so excited to know that a whole generation of students will know it by no other name. So happy Indigenous Peoples Day, and know that change is coming.
Well,